25 reps. It's like, you realize it's 25, right? Higher, right? Finally, 35
Boys was a different animal back then.
Bro, shout out Larry. That video of him walking down the line forever. Crazy.
Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Got us some football here, right? Man, I don't know why that not taking that Oregon over last night is just haunting me. It's one of those bets I just like knew was gonna win, but didn't take, and it
Worst
hit.
feeling.
Yeah. Yes, sir. This is Friday, baby. The Friday before the divisional round of the playoffs. We got 4 games here to break down. Looking forward to it as always on Friday. My man, Jaden Chandler Parnell, the always insightful and entertaining guy, is here to help me break down these football games, give out plays, props, sides, totals, however you want it. So we'll give you a plate full of plays. Also, college hoops in mid-season form, baby. Warming up. Conference play is hot. Shout out to Grand Canyon University last night to cover by a hook, even though they was up 30. Another team, Long Beach State. Who cares, right? Up 30 the whole game. Only wins by 8. I just thought it was funny. Don't even know why I'm mentioning it right now. Anyway, any day, anyhow. After me and JCP break down every single one of these games and get you right with the props and plays, I will give you 2 bets for tonight in college basketball and 1 possible. That's 2 and a possible. If you know spades, that's a bad hand. Also, I got 28 games tomorrow I did lines for that I have my eye on. I will explain that again for the newcomers to the show. I appreciate all of the newcomers, all of the love, all of your support. Again, this show really is nothing without y'all. If nobody
Bro, come
listens,
on.
I'm talking to myself. Anyway, anyhow, this is Captain by a hook with the red beard. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a beautiful Friday. This is episode 285, getting closer and closer to that elusive 300 mark that all of the pitchers try to catch. Oh yeah, almost there, baby. It is Friday. It is the 19th of January, the 19th day of the year 2024. This is a morning show presented by Stare Down Sports. My man, Jaden Chandler Parnell. How the hell are you doing today, big baby?
Bro, I
Looking
won't
forward to
lie to
these
you.
playoffs?
I'm getting upset. Sorry, you just heard my phone blast. I just had to spam all these, literally every number that I was going to give out for receivers and everything. So far, everything's gone up by 1 or 2. So it's to the point now where it's like, oh man,
Oh,
I
you
might
should have
not be
been ready
taking
for
it,
that. There's only 4 games. Everybody gonna be betting the
bro.
same things.
I know it's like, damn, sorry, I forgot to place all my bets last night. Damn. But no, if you could cut me off real quick for 20 seconds, I actually have to run downstairs and do something. So I apologize. This was totally unexpected. Totally unexpected. I apologize.
Nah, it's all gravy, baby. I've been wanting to talk about Florida State. I didn't get a chance to. Back to collegiate hoops, real quick. Florida State's 5-1 in ACC play. Surprising, I know. Since COVID, when they won the ACC and due to the shutting down and something, they were the best record. Something. They have been not too shabby, not too good. But Florida State, man, Leonard Hamilton. See, that's what happens when you give a coach a damn chance. Leonard Hamilton was on the hot seat the last 2 or 3 seasons. They stuck with him. He's a great man, great coach, great leader. He takes guys and gets them to the league, gets them to the next level, gets them to graduate. He has a great 8 to 12 man rotation. Not a lot of coaches will play that many players. Bruce Pearl is kind of doing it this season at Auburn, which I love. But shout out to Leonard Hamilton, man. Florida State just allowing him to build and rebuild, and now 3, 4 years later, 5-1 in ACC play, still going under the radar. Have a huge game tomorrow, hosting Clemson, and I think they are live to win it. I'd actually be on Florida State, but I will talk about that a little later when I give out my numbers for Manana. You good?
Yeah, I'm all good. My fault about that. Like I said,
It's all
for the quick,
gravy.
quick put little dog away. We talked about a little bit before the show. Yeah, I had to put that dog back in his crate. Can't be downstairs by himself because he's a dumbass and might get himself killed because he doesn't know what
Hey,
he's doing down there, losing his mind.
hey now,
Shout
hey
out old
now.
dogs, man. If
Waiko
y'all
one
own
day.
dogs, you get it. If you have old dogs, you get it. I don't need to say anymore. Man, that boy.
Speaking of
Yeah, no, I'm doing
dogs,
great though, honestly.
I was about to ask you. I was gonna start the show before we really dive into the games. What's your favorite game? Is there a game that you're excited about the most? And if you had to bet one dog with all your money, what dog would it be? You can take the points or you can money line it.
Hilarious. There's two dogs I like, two games I like. Funny enough, both on Sunday. I love both these Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Buccaneers, Lions, and Chiefs Bills. Both for two different reasons. I love Chiefs Bills because it's Mahomes versus Brady. Sorry, not Mahomes versus Brady. Manning versus Brady. Let me rephrase that. Sorry.
I have been
Manning
hearing that.
versus Brady. No, it's I won't lie. For it being a rivalry, it's going pretty well. Mahomes is Tom Brady. Cleaning the series so far. We need our Peyton Manning to win his 4 games. He's going to. No, honestly though, I am in all genuine seriousness. I am very excited for this game because it's the first time we'll see Kansas City in Buffalo. I think that it's just funny how it worked out for the Chiefs. They play the Miami Dolphins, who aren't going to do anything in the freezing cold. They finally traveled to Buffalo when Buffalo Bills' defense is the weakest. I'm excited to see if the Chiefs can actually get it done. I'm excited to see what the receivers will do. I mean, we saw last week they didn't play Kadarius Toney for obvious reasons. I'm not going to, and it's just like similar situation like that. Rasheed Rice, 8 receptions. We're going to be curious to see what other people do. One last thing about the Chiefs and Bills. Bills get carved up over the middle a lot as of lately. What is Travis Kelsey going to do? That's why I'm excited for that one. Bucks Lions. I'm excited because I don't know what the hell's going to happen. It's wild to think that we could have Baker Mayfield or Jared Goof or Jared Garf or Jared Goff, however you want to refer to him, have them in a championship series game. The fact that the Lions could potentially host 3 games in a row in Ford Field, absolutely wild. But I also like this game because it could be totally unexpected. Last time we saw these teams in Raymond James, Jared Goofy, just kidding. That day he was Jared Go-Offy, went through for about 353 yards. Uh, they absolutely did. I remember watching that game like it was yesterday. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers did absolutely nothing. It was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 6 and out, 3 and out. Like they had 2 field goals, 20-6. Lions never felt threatened. Very excited to see how it goes and flips the other time. But if I had to take one dog, love the Bucks 6.5 points, but I got to take Mahomes on the money line in the divisional round against the Bills. Somehow, I explained on my show, somehow, some way, every year they just find some magical way to win. If it's him getting pushed out of bounds in the playoffs, 13 seconds. I mean, there's always some magic with that Patrick Mahomes guy.
Now he definitely has a secret sauce in his sock. I definitely agree with you. I saw a tweet the other day, and it was like Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, or Jared Goff will be starting in the Super Bowl. And
Insane,
it was so ugly. I wanted to be like, how? No way. But of course, I mean, there's no way around it at this point. One of these guys
crazy.
is gonna win start in the Super Bowl game. No promise that they win it, of course. But man, I love that, man. You got me excited about Sunday. Definitely. This is actually I like all 4 of these games, man.
I do too.
Last
But
weekend
Sunday's
it
the
was
day.
only 2 games I was really looking forward to. Texans, Browns, Rams, Lions. But I can't wait to watch all of these games. Saturday is gonna be tough. Some great college hoops. I'll be back and forth going cross-eyed. Probably break the button on my
It's gonna be a fun
controller,
one.
the last channel button by the end of the night, but definitely will be fun. Let's just jump on
Hey,
in here. I forgot to put the first timestamp like a fool.
man, you even had everything planned out and all nice and even too for it.
I know, pen in my hand, just sitting here BSing, man, acting like I don't know what the hell going on. Saturday, baby, 3:30 sharp Central Time, 4:30 Eastern. And when I say sharp, the game won't start till 4:47.
Yep.
Houston Texans, 9.5 point dogs on the road in Baltimore. The weather, I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal. The under's been getting bet a lot. My favorite play, honestly, of the weekend is Ravens Texans over 43.5. I am going to put the hammer, the sledge, the chainsaw, and I might even throw a wrench on that one. Over 43.5. I think CJ Stroud's going to show up in his I think C.J. Stroud and Lamar Jackson about to put on a damn show, man. What's your thoughts on this Houston and Baltimore game?
One, I have an article that I'm going to post that's going to bring up this point as well here soon. Baltimore, the one thing that's going to be interesting is there is a potential winter storm warning late Sunday at some point. I don't know when, but I don't think. I mean, sorry, Saturday or sometime. It might even be sometime this weekend. They didn't really specific on that when I just looked. But biggest thing about this game is the wind gusts. Right now, it's projecting winds up to 15 miles per hour. I think I saw somewhere can reach up as much to 20 to 25. That's going to affect the throwing game just a little bit. If I don't, it also depends which way the wind's blowing. If it's blowing this way versus like left and right versus up and down, that's going to be a big, big difference as well. But with just the ideas of winning the game, I love the Ravens -9.5. I'm just gonna take it just to have a baseline bet down at least. So at the minimum, it's like, all right, I got something. The Ravens in case win this. These two played week one, 25-9 game. These are two completely different teams by then as well. But it's just I just trust the Ravens rushing attack and their defense just slightly more. And if it's coming down to the game of quarterbacks, I mean, Lamar Jackson is the MVP. CJ Stroud's probably going to be the rookie of the year. I mean, you got two really, really great quarterbacks. When it comes down to these last four games, especially on the AFC side, you got really good quarterbacks. So I'm
Yeah.
looking past the quarterbacks and looking at other positions like defense, running backs, Dalvin Cook. Ravens just added Dalvin Cook. He's going to have as fresh legs as he could be. Gus Edwards has been pretty good on the ground. There's a lot to look forward to in this game. The thing that frustrates me the most, we were talking about a little bit live. I had Gus Edwards at 47.5. Loved it there. It's at 51.5 now, and that kind of makes me sick to my stomach a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want anything to do with 51.5 because his stats the last two games, he got like 60 some, and then he got 48 last game, and then he's had like 13. He needs to get 10 carries minimum. Minimum gets 10 carries, and you had a shot at 47. But anything past that now it's the Wild West. Now I don't know what the hell's going on out there. They got cowboys over here, horses over there. You got robberies happening, and nobody knows about it. So I'm staying away from that at this point. There's how do I want to put this? There's four guys I like to score, but I don't feel like I should give them all out. So I'll probably give out one of each. I love Zay Flowers at plus. What was he at? I just had it written down. My fault. Plus 150. I like Zay Flowers. I think that he might potentially get in the end zone for the Texans side. I like Nico Collins and both Dalton Schultz. They've been basically the Texans have been playing two playoff games in a row now. If you count the Colts game, both those guys have scored in both games, so those are going to be two guys to keep an eye on. Plus 155, plus 302, good odds. Gus Edwards scores plus 120. I think that I just don't know what the running back situation is going to be totally because they have him, Justice Hill, and Dalvin Cook, who's plus 700, who I'm for sure going to take a flyer on just because it's plus 700 to start the game. I bet you by the end of the first quarter, you could probably get this at plus 1,000 if he gets like 1 to 2 carries. So that's going to be something I definitely keep my eye on for that. And like I said, I really love that Gus Edwards over 47.5, and now it's 51. It's like, man, that's how I feel about you in the Oregon game. It's like, man, I really missed one there because legit, it just ballooned up.
No, it was 148, the Oregon game. And I'm looking at it live, it drops to 143, and I'm just like kind of rocking. And then next thing I know, it popped up to like 150, and I was like, let me just go my ass to bed, man. End up getting a 156. All three numbers would have hit anyway. But Nico Collins, man, back to your point, he's definitely become a household name and a superstar, at least down here in the South, over the last 2 weeks. The way
Oh,
CJ Stroud's getting him the ball. I mean, his speed. I mean, we saw it on display against the Browns. It looked like he should be down for 1 or 2 yards, end up hitting the corner, getting 12 yards in the first down. I mean, that is game
wild.
changing, different making plays.
Diving catch against the Colts on a ball that looked like it's going to be intercepted, but it's in the perfect spot for his guy to get it. And Nico Collins makes a really amazing catch. It's burning
Nah,
past everybody, just zoom. Like he's a stud, honestly. It's really been fun to watch him and Tank Dell when they've been back and forth.
oh my God, I can't wait to see the team full string next season. It's. I mean, you never know. We've seen this before, where a team goes on a run and you think, okay, they're building something, and then they fall off the damn map. Uh, but honestly, man, I don't think the wind is gonna affect this game as much as people are saying. I've heard from old quarterbacks that as long as the wind ain't 40 miles an hour, 10 to 15 is nothing to throw in.
Yeah, and CJ is a gunslinger too. So and Lamar kind of got a
They
good
both
arm
got
too.
an
So,
arm, yeah.
so it might not. Yeah, you're right. It could end up not mattering at all. That's just something I at least wanted to bring up. But you could be
Yeah, I
totally
think the
right.
biggest thing is gonna be the cold, but then you look at CJ Stroud, and I mean, playing at Ohio State, he's played in some cold games. I don't think it'll affect any of the
They played
quarterbacks. You might see
cold
some
ass games.
receivers or running backs kind of alligator arming some balls, but I don't think so. I think both of these teams have got some dogs on them. I think both of these teams are going to come out and compete. I think it's going to be a shootout. I'm going to stick to my guns. Over 43.5. I'm licking my fingers at it. One of my favorite bets of the weekend for sure. Um, you want to move to Saturday night, or you have anything else on Baltimore, Houston?
I think I'm good, honestly. Yeah, but I had the pick, by the way, in order for those touchdown scores. I think for me, it's Zay Flowers, Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz, Dalvin Cook in that order. And the only thing that sucks about Dalton Schultz, he only got one catch. And if you look at this,
Yeah.
I mean, that game script too is just so weird. That's like it's hard to take anything from. So I think my safest touchdown bet for the whole game would probably be Nico Collins if the Texans are able to score.
I know on one hand that could be like, okay, we didn't have to use them, so now we're kind of throwing the Ravens off guard. Now we can go to him 7, 8 times because he's going to be open. They're going to be
Yep.
trying to stop Nico on the outside. It's crazy how football is really like you got to take what they give you. I'm sure the Browns went in saying we got to stop Schultz and stop the run game, and Nico Collins went crazy on the outside. But I will be honest with you, I wrote down every name you said except for Dalton Schultz, so I'm not even thinking about it, not even worried about it.
I couldn't blame you
Yeah,
at all, honestly,
yeah.
because they have some
Anyway,
good linebackers in Baltimore. That's another thing that scares me. They probably have the best linebacking core I think in the NFL. Shout out the Bears, man, for making the dumbest decision. Yeah, let's just give them Roquan Smith.
yeah.
Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen. My goodness, dude, that is. Oh
Patrick
man,
Queen,
that's
baby,
linebacker.
LSU.
I bet the Eagles would kill just to have one of those guys. The way their
Oh,
linebacking core was this
the
season.
Eagles would kill to have a. Let me not talk trash about the Eagles. They're not even playing no more. I don't even
They'll
want
be
to give them no
okay.
light.
They want
Eagles
their
and
coach fired.
Cowboys,
They can
Cancun
get
on
over it.
3.
1, 2, 3.
NFC East, baby. Y'all be talking all that damn trash. Anyway, the Green Bay Packers sent the Cowboys packing. 49ers been waiting on this game for 2 weeks. Niners -9.5 feels a little crazy if you ask me. But hey, Packers can show up and only score 6 points, or they could show up like they did last week. Last week was a damn anomaly. Anomaly. Anomaly.
Yes.
Anomaly. Packers +9.5 on the road in
Normally,
San Francisco. I'm worried about this game's weather more than I am Baltimore's weather, only because a rainy night in San Francisco is a nightmare for me. I've been to San Francisco twice. Coldest place I've ever been. Both times was in July, and it was freezing. I can't even imagine what it's like in January. Total in this game is 50.5. If I had to bet that, it'd be the under. I think Green Bay struggles in this game. I literally think they put up 6 to 12 points. I think San Francisco does one of their patented go up 23-10 and then run the clock out moves and not even give a damn about scoring again as long as Christian McCaffrey has a touchdown. Uh, it's been getting gimmicky out there in San Francisco. Has Christian scored? Are we winning? Just run the ball until the game's over. Uh, so Niners -9.5. I don't know. Feels a little big, but that would be the side I'd have to bet if I bet it, and the under would be a play I'm looking for, only because it's supposed to be severe rain.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. The more and more I've thought about this game, it's like, man, are the Packers actually gonna be able to cover? Because I think a lot of people look at their defense in a whole different light after what it did to the Cowboys. But I think people should know that was an anomaly. I've watched their defense
That was
all
more
season long.
Cowboys than Packers.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, the Packers definitely did. They took advantage of everything they needed to, but I haven't seen the Packers defense play like that all season. That was a showout game for them. What has killed them? The run. Who runs the ball the best probably in the league? The 49ers. Hey, if you don't remember, literally, what was it, 2, 3 years ago? They ran for 200 and almost 40 yards on them in this game. And this defense hasn't gotten better. It's almost the same defense, just a little bit younger. This is a battle of Joe Barry versus Kyle Shanahan. I'm taking Kyle Shanahan every day. I just don't. I I think the Packers have a chance to cover if they're able to if they're able to keep it close with Jordan Love because he is super talented. I truly just don't know how much their defense is going to get stopped because I think the 49ers are about to score 28-31, potentially even by the third quarter, depending how good this defense is. And I just don't know how much the Packers are going to be able to do after that.
No,
Yeah, look,
I definitely agree.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just say, I'm looking through. There are some stats. I mean, not stats, numbers that didn't change for me, thankfully. Like McCaffrey over 89.5 rushing yards. Yeah, yeah. Brock Purdy over 6.5. That is tempting just because the boy can scoot. Like there's times he just loves to scoot. So with the playoffs happening, I'm for sure going to take the over 6.5. If you want a fun little three-legger, that's probably going to be like plus 100. Christian McCaffrey to score. Christian McCaffrey's rushing over and 49ers to win. Plus 127. There's a 50% boost, I think, on some of these books too, so feel free to use it on that. He's minus 340 to score. Don't even worry about him putting him to score on anything. So yeah, like minus 350. It's minus 350. It got even worse. Like I think he's gonna score, but it's like minus 350 at that point. It's like unless you parlay it, you don't need to throw it in anywhere at that point. For being real, I do like Aaron Jones at plus 110 if the Packers are going to score. He has been doing a lot lately. He's rushed for 100 yards 4 games in a row. I hate to say it, I don't know if that's going to happen in the 5th game. The way this defense can play, I think they get Eric Armstead back as well, so it's going to be huge for up in the middle. Who else is up? Romeo Dobbs plus 260. I'm going to take him again because whenever I said last week, whenever
I
there's
love
big
Dobbs.
games, it seems Romeo Dobbs finds his way in the end zone. He went absolutely off. I don't think the 49ers defense is going to do anything like the Cowboys did last week. I mean, the Cowboys, these receivers made 2 directions move. They started running this way, bam, cut this way, and all of a sudden the DBs are lost and they're wide open. And it's just, I don't think that's going to happen nearly as much with the 49ers. I mean, I won't lie. I don't know what those Cowboy DBs were doing. I mean, seriously, Romeo Dobbs made like one move and they would get spun around in a circle and he's 50 yards wide open over here. I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of that in this game. So I'd be careful with that. If you want a dark horse, Dontavian Wicks at plus 300. This guy scored about 3-4 games in a row now. Minimum 2. He just finds his way in the end zone. It's weird. Every time I'm looking, I'm like, oh, is that Dobbs? It's like, it's Wicks. What the hell? Like I said, that's happened now like at least like 3 or 4 games where he just like, let's go, Dobbs. Like, how the hell did Wicks catch that? And he's getting like 2 for 23 and a touchdown, 3 for 30 something and a touchdown. Like it's just he's finding his way in the end zone open every single time. So if somebody's going to score between those, I like those 3 at least for the Packers. But like I said, I don't know truly too much, and I'm not going to pick anybody for the 49ers because this is the team that you have to watch live before you bet on somebody because it's somebody's a yards guy, somebody's a rushing yards guy, and then somebody's a touchdown guy that game, and they could be all 3 different people or it could be all the same person. It's completely different every single game, so I'm not even gonna. I hate to say it, waste my money putting on somebody to score. I'm just gonna wait to see what happens live.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I hate to say it. I think the worst thing the Packers could have did for themselves is win the game last week. Because, I mean, all Kyle Shanahan doing all week is preaching that the Cowboys took it for granted. The Cowboys looked ahead. The Cowboys didn't show up prepared. We not finna be the damn Cowboys. I think the
If it
49ers
was
come out
close, yeah,
and
might
bust
be a
that
little different.
ass.
The fact that 48-16, yeah, Shannon's coming out like, hey, no, we're not doing this. This is our year. We had everything fall our way. We're not doing this.
No, I mean, 100%, that's all that happened. I mean, everything, if you watch that Cowboys game, they showed up like they already won, and all they had to do was
Completely
get
outcoached.
dressed, and they go in to play the Niners. But you gotta play the game. You gotta win the game. As the old saying is, that's why they play the damn game.
Play to win the game. Shout
They
out.
are who we
Who said
thought
that?
they were. There's so many sayings about
Playoffs.
that. Man, moving on to Sunday, baby. Some of the good games. You got Tampa Bay. They're taking on
Woo.
Detroit. Big concern in this game is the weather. I would never get over that question, dog. How are y'all gonna prepare for the weather? Like, bro, they've been playing in the
He
dome
paused
since.
for like a second too to be nice. He's like, I can't just bury her. He's like, we
I
only got
know.
to worry about it for a little bit. And
I
the
know.
second she answered that question, she's like, what the hell, producer? And his ass was gone.
Yeah.
His ass was gone after that question.
Now somebody
Just
set it
looking
up
back,
for
she's like,
show,
pissed
bro.
about it.
And yeah,
Man, got
it's
her ass
sad to
dunked
see.
on. Internet
I
went off on her. I mean, scary
I
hours
know.
out there.
I wish it was a man, because I think if a man asked that question, Ty Bowles would have been like, "Hey, dumbass."
He would have went in if it 100%. He would have gone in a lot harder if it was Gentry, like Raples would have. Is that so, Gentry? Like we would
Yeah.
have heard. We would have heard a lot of that.
Woo. Anyway,
Got any
baby.
more smart questions, Gentry?
Yeah. No, I
Bro,
love it,
Rapes was
man.
pissed. I love it.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Detroit. Detroit favored by 6.5. It's crazy how none of these lines outside of the Ravens has moved. I do want to talk about line movement in the next game on Sunday night because boy, these books are holding on to that 2.5 for dear life. Scared to give out a 3 on the Chiefs. But anyway, we're on the Bucks. Lions.
I was gonna
Lions
get
favored
hammered.
by 6.5. Oh, psh,
I already
hurricane.
took a 3 on a different book. I was already like, all right, let's get it now before it's gone. Because yeah, that was one of those things I'm happy I've jumped on. Because yeah, that was gone in an
Yeah.
instant. It opened at 3, didn't it?
Nah.
Not on this
Nah.
book. It didn't open at 3. It opened on 3 on 2 other books. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't be looking at opening lines. I really don't care about football, bro, but I doubt it.
Yeah,
Because I wouldn't see it getting bet down. Who's betting the Bills?
that's fair. That is a fair point. I just know I'm gonna look at my other book now that we're speaking. Sorry to interrupt you though.
nah, you good. I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, that's what we
Yeah,
do. We're gamblers. Lawn movement is like,
I jumped on that because I was genuinely scared. Like I'm like, there's a chance. I feel like some people might. Yeah, like you know what? I'll just say the book for this little special. I took it at DraftKings at 3 on Monday, and now it's or sorry, on Tuesday. I took it at 3, and now it's 2.5. So very strange. Very strange. People were hammering the Bills. That's very interesting.
oh man, yeah,
Or I guess, or that
we,
means that people were taking the Chiefs actually since it moved to 2.5.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I don't think that 3 is coming back. I'm scared to say it.
Oh no, not this late in the week.
These books are like, no, it's like a thing of tug of war. Every book's jumping on the one end, just trying to hold on for dear life.
Now, if it does come back to 3, it'll be literally like Sunday around 1, just because it's
Hoping
getting
nobody sees
hammered.
it.
Yeah, it'll just
4:30
be getting
Sunday evening during the middle of the game, like,
it'll just be getting hammered so much they'll have to.
yeah.
But
You
anyway,
know Vegas gonna call that in.
we're talking Lions, Buccaneers, baby. Lions, 6.5 point favorites at home. A weird number to me because I don't think there's any universe where the Lions win a playoff game by a touchdown. I think this should be closer to 3, 2.5.
Yep.
There's no way. I mean, no, there's a way. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Total here set at 48.5, which is an interesting number to me. I think both of these teams indoors can put up some points. It's hard for me to trust either one of these quarterbacks. Hard for me to trust either one of these coaches. Hard for me to trust either one of these franchises. I mean, outside of Tom Brady, it's been 20 some years since Tampa Bay's done anything, and Detroit, we all know the history behind them. They haven't won a playoff game since I was born. Uh, 48.5 on the total. I don't know. Both of these teams can lay an egg. Both of these teams can put up 40 by themselves. This is really one of those wild card games to me, and I don't mean that in the term of the wild card round. I just mean like who knows what the hell's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You can either pull a joker or you can pull an ace. I really don't know. I do like the Bucks plus 6.5 just because I do think both of these teams will mess up enough that this game stays close. Baker showed some gunslinging abilities last week. The thing about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to me, I watched them all year. I don't know why they haven't been better. If you look at their wide receiver core, I feel like that offense should be one of the top offenses in the nation. But some weeks it just struggles and puts up 9 points, and some weeks it comes out and looks like it did against the Eagles. And you never know what you're gonna get. Definitely gonna be an interesting game to watch though. I think it'll be the most entertaining game as far as just I can't believe that just happened. What's your thoughts on Lions and Bucks?
Well, as you were talking too, I was double checking numbers on this book, and these numbers didn't change for a lot of these guys. So you're gonna get a mix of good numbers. But yeah, I'm with you. This is a coin flip game of the weekend. I think anything can happen. The thing I'm excited for most, if you saw in the media, CJ DJ came out and said some words about the Buccaneers.
You
Have you
talking
seen
about
this?
Chauncey Gardner?
Yes, sir.
Is that Chauncey?
Chauncey. No, but for those people that don't know, he basically came out and said, "Man, the Bucks would be a lot better if they had a better quarterback." Because UT guys like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage is going off. And he said basically was calling out. He basically called Baker Mayfield trash without saying the words. Talking about how his play and everything. And Baker Mayfield, came out and he's like, "Well, he must have been not watching tape since the preseason because Russell Gage isn't even playing right now." I love that comeback. So Baker's one of those guys that he
Oh
gets off
yeah,
on stuff like this, so he's going to be bricked up going into the stadium. Just thinking about this, so this makes me love the Bucks 6.5 even more because this is the stuff that Baker Mayfield lives off of, and I think the Lions still, like I said, I think the Lions potentially might win this game, but 6.5, like you said, way too many points.
yeah,
Way too many. I think it should have been 3. I bet you if this is any other team, it's 3.5, 4, maybe.
yeah. I think it should be 2.5. Honestly,
They're
man.
solely basing this off of the fact that they beat them 20-6 last time they played in Raymond James Stadium, like forever ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the big difference in Tampa Bay and Los Angeles. We just saw Los
Not really.
Angeles only lose by 1.
And they have, I would say, Tampa Bay's defense slightly better, Rams offense slightly better. I mean, I would say very similar teams. Yeah, I'm very excited for Todd Bowles in this. For those of you who don't know, Todd Bowles loves to send those exotics and loves to bring all those wild blitzes, changes up fronts and everything. Like, you don't know why the Eagles lost is Todd Bowles pretty much just destroyed their front with his fronts, and the Eagles weren't able to adjust to it at all. And it's going to be, what's going to be even more better is coming into this week, the Lions saw what he did last week. None of that's going to happen. He's
Yeah,
going to be completely different game plan. they might see something maybe they saw week 6 when they played. It's going to be something that's completely different. That's going to be the game inside the game is how will Ben Johnson, the offense, react to the exotics and the things that Todd Bowles will be sending because, I mean, you saw 353 last time these guys played, and they only scored 20 points. So, I mean, this is going to become really big with the defenses. When it comes to some props I like, on one book, I got Cade Otton at 30.5. This one is 29.5. I like that. Last 2 weeks, he's gotten 20 on one reception alone. So, I mean, you were just hoping for 2-3 receptions from this guy pretty much the way he's been playing. I love that. Baker Mayfield rushing over 7.5. Taking QB overs pretty much the end of the season. All boys, 7.5 for them is just like one scramble on a 3rd and 7. He gets 8-9 yards, and then you just hope he doesn't knee it out to win the game. He gets maybe one more scramble later. Trey Palmer over 17.5. I love this. This guy got 1 for 153, 1 for 53 and 1 last week. I only had 1 catch. I would also potentially even take. They don't have him on here, but my boy, I took him last week, David Moore. If they have his receiving over anywhere, I'd probably take him because it's probably gonna be like 5-10 yards, and he's for sure gonna get a catch or two. I mean, last week he broke one open because the Eagles couldn't tackle. That's gonna be another big thing for this week if the Lions defense needs to tackle. Amon-Ra over 91.5. Another bookie's 92.5. I like him to get. He's had close to 100. 3 out of the last 4 games, he's had over 100. I look for him just to do it again. He's been
that boy's been
key target
off and passionate.
7 catches, 7 first downs last week. How about that?
Yeah.
That's a stat for you. I love that. That guy's been balling the hell out. But yeah, and then when it comes to this game touchdown wise, Cade Otton touchdown. He dropped an easy one last week. Easiest catch he had all week. He dropped last week. Made every other catch. So I like for him to score. I'll check his odds for you guys right now because I forgot I didn't write that down. Probably plus 300 is my guess. Off the top of my head, plus 370. Yeah, you got a juicy ass boy right there. Mike Evans plus 100. I'm going to take him this week because he dropped all those touchdowns last week, so maybe he'll get another look this week. He had 1 bomb that he should have hit last week. Should have hit last week. Goes right through his hands. Man, Mike. And I'm going to pick Amon-Ra to score a touchdown. The coin flip heads. Give me David Montgomery to score a touchdown, not Jahmyr Gibbs this week.
I like it, man. Yeah, honestly, all season.
Mike Evans, bro. God damn, bro. Like, I mean, seriously, it was
the worst receiver in the league.
Right through the hands. Like, God damn.
Nah, something wrong with that kid, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Man, I love Mike. He's caught so many touchdowns for me this year. That one made me mad because I had him over 100 yards too, and he literally dropped the 50 to 60 yard touchdown. It's like, bro, you are buns, my boy. Love him to death, but goddamn.
That boy don't want it, man. It is crazy. It just hit me looking at these games. All season, every week, I've taken C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, and Baker Mayfield over rushing yards. And all 3 of them are available this weekend to take their rushing yards.
And they all are the same number they've been pretty much all season. The books are just succeeding it.
Nah, yeah. I'm going to definitely go villain mode on them bitches.
I would take Jordan Love's rushing over as well. I didn't give that one out, but I didn't see it when I was
yeah, I haven't looked at any props, man. You're the prop king, prop god. I usually just take all your props. And
8.5 for Jordan Love.
Yeah, that's automatic.
Yes, sir.
Stroud 8.5, automatic. Man.
Yeah, I'll admit the Stroud one I am a little bit scared of just because of Baltimore defense, and I just don't know how much because he's a quarterback that he will not run. He'll take a few hits instead of running, but he also runs when he needs to. So the 8.5 being that small is like he can easily get that one rush, like we talked about earlier.
See, I feel like, man, he gonna be under pressure, which means his ass gonna start getting jumpy and just take off. Pew!
He might though. That's the thing. I do agree with that.
I think Jordan Love.
How about Lamar Jackson over 55.5 rushing?
I like it.
Like, yeah, that boy a little different.
I know him and Josh Allen is always like 48, 55. Even Justin Fields, he'd be like 51. I'm like, all right, bro.
And you're like, man, why would I take that? That's disgusting. And then Josh Allen rips a 52-yard touchdown right up the middle. You're like, oh, that's why.
Nah, he's the best rushing quarterback in the league, bro. I mean, he can't throw for shit, so he got to do something.
Who, Josh?
Yeah. That's a joke.
Better rusher than Lamar?
That's a joke. I hate Josh Allen.
I know.
I think he's the worst thing to happen to the NFL since helmets. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, Sunday night, baby. The game Tony Romo's waiting for. Kansas City Chiefs.
Jim!
Taking on the Buffalo Bills, baby. It is going to be a damn good one. I do like the history between these two teams. I mean, Josh Allen's only had one good game his whole career, and it was against the Chiefs. And off of that one game that they lost, somehow he's become the GOAT. Buffalo Bills minus 2.5 at home. Total here set at 45 in the hook. Buffalo Bills heavily juiced on the 2.5. about even money on the Chiefs plus 2.5. I'm gonna be on the Chiefs money line. I just think Josh Allen blows it. I think the Bills blow it. I think we see a lot of crying from Stephon Crybaby Diggs, and I think the Chiefs just know how to get it done. And I think the Bills, something about the Bills, man. I hate to just really dog them. They made it this far. They're one of those
Yeah.
teams that it's like it's never our fault. They cry, they whine, they argue with each other, they shrug their shoulders, their body language sucks. Chiefs gonna go out there and endure whatever they gotta endure to win. Where I think if one thing goes wrong for the Bills, whether it's a bad call, a drop pass, a fumble, they're just gonna shut down. Um, Especially against the Chiefs. And I think this Chiefs defense is better than the Bills defense. And I think Patrick Mahomes is better than Josh Allen. And I think Andy Reid's better than whoever the hell the Bills coach is. I don't even know his name. And I think the Chiefs walk away. Not an easy one, but I definitely think they get the job done and win the damn game. I know there'll be a shot for the Bills to come back. They'll probably be down 4 with like a minute left, get the ball, and we'll see some Josh Allen magic or not. I'm betting not. Give me the Chiefs on the money line plus 122.
Woo, yeah, I got Chiefs on the money line as well. Used a 50% boost on it, so I got mine at plus 192. A little juicy on it. Well, I got the 3 and I got the plus 3 as well. That, like I said, I don't know if we're going to see anymore. The one thing that bothers me the most about the Bills fans as of late is they forgot how trash they were for a while. They've been getting real entitled lately with all the way they've been acting. And it's not me calling out Bills fans. I mean, hey, you guys do you, I guess. I mean, I'm not one to hate,
Real
but
quick, just to cut you off,
yep.
that's why I hate the Bills. I never had a problem with the Bills before fans started acting like they was motherfucking 3-time reigning champs. Never won a damn thing in their life. Go ahead. I'm
Like they
sorry.
forgot. I mean, the OG. It's not, and it's a lot of the newer, younger Bills fans. Like the OG fans remember the Four Falls of Buffalo documentary where they lost 4 Super Bowls. Like yeah. That's the thing that makes me the most mad. I see a lot of Bills fans like, oh, we were so just unlucky. This happened. This happened. It's like y'all been trash. Like y'all
It's
should be
never.
happy you got this far right now.
They never lost. They always got screwed.
Man, just if man, just if that the Mar Hamlin thing didn't happen, which I'll admit that did happen. It's like that stuff. Obviously, stuff like that doesn't happen to all other
They've been
teams. There's a
crying
lot
since
more
the
that goes
coin
in.
flip.
Then there's that. It's like, man, just we got the ball in overtime. And then guess what? They literally changed the rule for them, and I think they ended up losing overtime even with the ball or something like that. I
Yeah.
forget. Or no, they got beat because of the rule. Because Josh Allen kicked
Yeah.
the field goal, they would have scored, they would have won, but then the rule eventually got them back. Like it's funny because all of a sudden they're like, man, why does everyone get the ball? It's like, of course. No,
Lost,
but
man.
I
You
just want
can't
to.
win with a Bills fan, man. That's like trying to teach a 1-year-old how to read.
All right, so I got last few season series. Bills Bills have won 3 of the last 4. If you go past those 4, it's Bills L, Bills L, Bills win, Bills L, Bills L, and that's all the way back to 2014ish. But if you go to the series about 2020, the Chiefs, it's a 3-3 series, and that's including playoffs, including postseason. Bills, I think, won this year too in the regular season. So you know the old adage: it's hard to beat a team twice. Well, I'm just all over the Chiefs because my biggest thing has nothing to do with Bills fans or anything just like that. The Bills are way too banged up on defense. They just lost Bernard last week to ankle injury. They got carted off on, so I doubt he's playing this week. I could be wrong. Gabe Davis hasn't practiced all week. He's still not playing. That's another weapon they lose. Stephon Diggs has not been the same all year. He's been a shell of himself. He's still been a good receiver. He's still been a good receiver this year by like the average NFL standards, but by top of the top, he did not have a season like that by any means at all. It was one of those just weird seasons. It's really weird for him. What point was I about to bring up? Biggest thing, defense. Like I said, their defensive injuries are really going to kill them. They've been getting kind of torched over the middle a lot lately. And there's some guy in Kansas City wearing 87 who's been kind of quiet for a few games. So you just expect him to potentially go off. Due to the defensive injuries, this is something I'm kind of just going to do on a whim. Travis Kelce to score 2 touchdowns is plus 950. I might end up sprinkling that because I think there's a small chance that something like that could happen. Like I said, because the middle of the defense is where the Bills get killed the most. But they ain't got no defense in the middle. Matt Milano gone. I mean, I think they've lost like 3 or 4 linebackers. It's absolutely ridiculous. But speaking of touchdowns, if you just want to go one, I like Kelce to score 1. It's like plus something, or it's like plus 130. He's a third Chief now. That tells you how weird of a season it's been. He's a third Chief, and he's not minus 125. I would love Pacheco as well, plus 120. I think that he could potentially have another big game. I'm interested to see how he will do. Josh Allen, I like him to score. I like Dalton Kincaid to score because If you want to go on the opposite side of the coin, if Bills win, usually Josh has a rushing touchdown, usually has a passing touchdown. Dalton Kincaid's been coming on, so I like Dalton Kincaid to score there. He's been one of the more reliable pass targets. And when it comes, like I said, Josh Allen usually runs one in, passes one in. I'm going to take Josh Allen just to score a touchdown this week. And biggest fun one I like, Kincaid over 38.5. I'm going to double check and see if it's still that number. It's 40.5. Still kind of like if it starts to get to 42, 43, I'm probably going to back off. Usually about 5 to 6 yards over my number is usually about my limit. And Rashee Rice, I want to double check his. His actually went down. I like this a lot. I'm going to take him over 71.5, and I'm going to take over his receptions because the last few games he's been getting like 8 for 130, 6 for 100, this for that, and it's just all been about 6 to 7. It's all been about 6 to 7 catches for about around 100 yards. So if you're going to give me 6.5 on the number, and this seems to be going down like it's going to go to 5, I'm going to take that. Even if the weather causes something weird in this game and they aren't throwing it as much, I would feel amazing with those numbers the way Rashee Rice has been playing lately.
No, I love it, man. Absolutely love it. I can't wait for that game,
It's
man.
going to be a fun one.
Definitely. Gonna be every one of these games is gonna be a damn good game. Even if it's a blowout, it'll still be entertaining, I believe. I forgot what I was about to look up. Oh yeah. Patrick Mahomes, 26.5 rushing yards. That is bananas.
I mean, the worst part too is he's probably going to get it, but that's way too big for me to take comfortably.
I know my limit's like 13.5 on him. 16 is like
Yeah,
stretching it.
and he had like a 3rd and 15 run last week. I mean, it's just he runs when he needs to run, and he gets so many yards in those 2 or 3 runs that like they just skyrocket his numbers. It's just not worth it, man. It sucks because I want to do it. I want to do it earlier. If this was week 2 or 3, this would probably be 13.5. But I think because of I'm about to look it up real quick. Let's see his last few games, just so people are curious for his rushing stats. 41, 2, 53, -5, 8, 26. That's all the way back from December
-5, just a random ass assessment.
on December 17th against New England. Yeah, he just.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because he took all those damn knees though. So yeah, he just wasn't running that day because New England didn't make him run.
Hell yeah. Nah, man, I can't wait, man. Divisional
Speaking of the
round.
dogs,
Yeah. It's gonna be a good weekend. All 4 of these games will definitely have my attention. Anything else you want to say to the people, big dog?
man, not really. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about college basketball later. I just hope everyone has a good weekend, enjoys the divisional round. I just want to give a little message before I go. Remember, enjoy these games while they last. You might be fighting, you might be sad that your team's out of it. Like I'm sad my team's out of it. Enjoy these games while they last. We got 7 games left. 4 this weekend, 2 next weekend, week off, Super Bowl, and then you know what? We got about 190 or so days until we get week 1 again. So truly, you got to enjoy this moment while it lasts. Time truly does fly. So just enjoy time with football, man, before it's truly gone. And also hop on some of these numbers before they jump because I think lost giving out like 6 bets because the numbers moving. So if there's a number you like, feel comfortable taking it early. Don't feel bad about it.
Definitely. It's such a small slate of games, man. People are just fiending and looking for bets, so they just running
Wasting
numbers
their
up.
money early.
Bets going viral easier, and definitely, like you said, man. Every year we kind of take it for granted. At least I do. I just say with college basketball, somewhere in the middle of March Madness weekend, I'm like, damn, just the end of the season. Like it gets
Hit
sad.
me last weekend. Yeah, it hit you
Yeah,
hard because it's
yeah.
always when it's a little too late, and you're like, man, if I just would have, you know what? Maybe that New England, New York Jets Patriots game wasn't too bad. I know it was only
Yeah.
6-0 in the snow, but man, that was a game. You think about that in the summer when it's March or no, sorry, March. March you got madness at least. When it's like April, May, and it's like, man, all we got is the diamond. We don't got anything else. It's like, man,
Yes,
we
sir.
don't got hockey, no basketball, no nothing. So yeah, truly enjoy it. It's gonna be a really fun weekend too, because think about it. Think about the quarterbacks you said on the NFC side. We're gonna have pretty much a guaranteed brand new face in there, besides Jared Goff. But even then, I don't think a lot of people would consider him like a old face that's coming in there. And then you got on the AFC side, you got Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, 4 of the best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, it's truly going to be an exciting time to be a football fan. This is what we live for. We suffer all year through the heartbreaks and everything. You got one shot. Don't miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
No, man, couldn't have said it better myself, man. My man Jaden Chandler Parnell. You can
I
catch him on
appreciate it, my boy.
YouTube at the JC Pod. You can follow him on the X at Jaden95 Chandler, and you can check out Stare Down Sports for all of his written work. My man, one of the most hardest working people in the business. Appreciate you coming on every weekend, talking football. Appreciate you getting us ready for these divisional round playoffs. I would definitely see you next week to talk some Super Bowl, not Super Bowl. One more week. I'm
Not
sorry.
yet.
Jumping the
Not
gun
yet.
for jumping the damn gun. But I appreciate it, man. Looking forward to talking to you next week. And go Boilermakers, huh?
Yes, sir. Go Purdue. We need them. Man. Yeah, yeah. I'll
Yeah.
see you later. Yeah.
My man, with the plan. Yes, sir. Let's talk some college hoops. Now that I have you here, tonight I do have two games, and then I'll break down Saturday for you as well a little bit here, give you some numbers to look at. Tonight I'm gonna take Xavier at home minus 12.5. They're taking on a Georgetown team. Uh, I don't know how to say sucks nicely because I love Ed Cooley, and I think he is going to turn this Georgetown team around in the next 2 to 3 seasons. But as of now, their only Big East win is against DePaul, who's getting beat by 50 everywhere, and Georgetown only beat them by 3. Xavier getting hot, baby. Don't look at the record and think you know the team. 20-point win last Saturday, and then a convincing win over Butler at home. I believe it was Tuesday. They won by about 15. I think Xavier at home against Georgetown gets another 20 plus point win. I'm all over them tonight, minus the 12.5. 5:30 game against Georgetown. Give me Xavier minus the four minus 12.5. Excuse me. I started thinking about the next game. Uh, and then I also love me some Akron, baby. Akron on the money line. They're on the road taking on Kent State. Give me Akron to just win this game outright. Money line minus 118. I took it last night at 115. I was scared it would jump to maybe 140. That's how confident I am in this game. I believe this number will jiggity jump, jump. Anyway, Akron on the money line, baby, minus 118. And then give me Xavier minus 12.5. Those are tonight's Friday night college hoops bets. I love this part of the season. We're finally back into true college basketball form. Friday night, mid majors, small schools, you get to get gravy. And then Saturday through Thursday, you got all the big dogs hopping and hollering. Another game I do want to talk about tonight, late night game. Actually, there's two I want to preview and just give my thoughts on. Indiana's traveling to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's minus 11.5. Whew, that feels like 30.5 in a Big Ten game. Wisconsin 5-1 so far in the Big Ten. Indiana trending in the wrong direction. The entire Indiana fan base is calling for Mike Woodson's head. It's becoming a weird trend in sports, college sports, even more. Now, I'll tell you right now, Jawan Howard needs to be fired from Michigan, and Dennis Allen needs to be fired from the Saints. But to just call for everybody's head like this is kind of bananas. Mick Cronin and Mike Woodson definitely do not deserve to lose their job. I even saw somebody calling Ed Cooley a fraud. Like, bro, you got to get this man at least 2 or 3 seasons to build this program at Georgetown. He's taken over one of the worst programs in the history of college basketball the last decade. Um, it's not gonna just flip overnight. I don't know what the hell y'all thinking, but definitely give Ed Cooley another 2 seasons. But Indiana, Wisconsin, gonna be a good one. Big Ten games are always close. I think Indiana somehow keeps it within the 11.5 that is sitting on the spread. I'm staying away from it though, because who the hell knows? The other game that I have my eye on, I would definitely be watching this game with some popcorn. Colorado State's taking on UNLV, the running Rebels of Las Vegas. Colorado State, I got a huge future on them. So it's like I don't even want to bet them, if that makes any sense. I just be rooting for them to win and rooting for them to win hard. That Mount West is definitely a gauntlet. San Diego State, Boise State, uh, Utah State. A lot of teams. I'm watching Colorado State for. Speaking of futures, last night, man. At halftime, it looked like everything was going good. I have a bunch of Memphis futures, as y'all know. I'm watching Florida Atlantic down to Wichita State. I'm watching Memphis up 20. Somehow, both of those games completely flipped, and instead of me getting a 2-game lead over Florida Atlantic, They're now tied at the top of that conference. So Colorado State, definitely one of my favorite teams to watch. They're minus 7.5 at home. Earlier in the season, I mean, they started off 13-0, covering like with ease, literally covering like by double the points. Last couple of games, they just been stumbling, rumbling, bumbling. I feel like tonight's a get right spot. Friday night, not too many people gonna be paying attention to college hoops. Colorado State at home, minus the 7.5. That's definitely a bet that I have written down, haven't taken yet. But I'm all over Xavier and all over Akron. Colorado State would definitely be a last minute play. Kind of hoping UNLV gets bet a little bit. I would love to get this at 6.5 instead of 7.5. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. I might just stay away and again root for my future, the future that is. Speaking of the future, let's talk some Saturday hoops, baby. Um, Beautiful slate of games on Saturday, huh? You like how I did that? Man, I usually do about 15 to 20 games. Today I got 28 games for you. If you're new to the show, every Friday I give out my numbers for the Saturday games. So at least you got something when Saturday comes. Also, if you check out Stare Down Sports, there should be an article with my official bets. But out of these 28 games, I'm probably going to bet about 6 to 9 of them, all depending on numbers. Now, again, I explain this every week. Briefly, I'm giving you my numbers. When the numbers come out, write these numbers down, draw a line, and then when the real numbers come out, write those numbers, and again, bet the difference. Now, if you're new to betting, if you're new to gambling, if you see a minus, if I give out minus 5.5, you see a minus 7.5, stay away. Just don't even think about it again. If I give out a minus 5.5, see a minus 3.5, 4.5, bet that. The bigger the difference, the more confident I am if you ask me about it. Anyway, we're gonna start off with the morning slate, of course. I'm just gonna run through this 28 games. Let's get it, man. This is the Saturday slate. The numbers from the Red Beard right here on Captain by a hook. Syracuse, they're hosting Miami. I like Syracuse to win this. Miami struggled in their last two. However, my favorite play in this game would be the over, anywhere up to 146.5, meaning if you get a 144.5, you bet it. I think y'all get it by now. Let's just run through it. Syracuse, Miami, over 146.5. Baylor, they're on the road taking on Texas. Texas still butthurt over the last game they lost. Texas has been falling apart since Big 12 play started. I think Baylor gets a road win. Give me Baylor minus 2.5 on the road. Sticking in the Big East now. You got Creighton traveling to Seton Hall. Seton Hall is looking for some respect. Seton Hall is looking for some respect. They're the Rodney Dangerfield of college basketball right now. Even their fan base is crying that they're not ranked. And when I say crying, rightfully so. I'm not making fun of them. Seton Hall wins this game. Give me Seton Hall minus 1.5 at home, taking on Creighton. We're going to go to Marquette, keeping it in the Big East. They're on the road taking on St. John's. I like this St. John's team, and maybe this is me sticking to my preseason projection for St. John's. I think Marquette, at some point, I think they just fall apart and start struggling. It's Rick Pitino's first year there. He's dealing with COVID. I don't know if he'll be coaching. I don't know how the COVID rules are in 2024. In 2020, they would have shut down the season for him having COVID, and he'd be in quarantine for 2 weeks. So I don't know. I doubt he'll be coaching, but he might be coaching. I don't know. Don't mark my words. Haven't heard an update on it since the other night. But Marquette on the road, give me Marquette minus 1.5. I think they go on the road and get a huge road win. You got George Washington traveling to Massachusetts, UMass, baby. I love UMass in this game at home. I think their best players coming back, Matt Cross. Give me Massachusetts minus 3.5 against George Washington. Wake Forest, baby, some ACC action. Wake Forest will be taking on Louisville. Give me Wake Forest minus 9.5. Think they rout the Louisville Cardinals, who actually have been playing tougher the last few weeks. And by playing tougher, they've been covering 20-point spreads. Give me Wake Forest, anything up to 9.5. Don't really like it in double digits, but I do think that Wake Forest gets the win by double digits. If that don't make sense, nothing will. Rhode Island, they're traveling to Dayton, baby. Give me Dayton -6. Love Dayton -6. Big Ten action here, baby. Ohio State, they need to bounce back. They've been bad the last few weeks. Looking for Ohio State to bounce back at home. Huge spot for them to bounce back. Was amazing in non-conference. Started dealing with some injuries. Hopefully they're getting healthy. Hopefully they're getting right. Just lost on Monday to Michigan. I think they get back against Penn State. Give me Ohio State -5.5. San Diego State, baby. Some Mount West basketball. San Diego State, we watched them last Saturday get routed in New Mexico. They're on the road again this Saturday, taking on a Boise State team. I think San Diego State comes prepared. Give me San Diego State +2. I really like the money line if it's plus money for them to win. Um, I don't know if a favorite. They might be like 1.5, 2-point favorites, however. But Boise State does hold it down at home. So I think it'll be a good game regardless. Then we're going to go over to the Big Ten. I'm not sure why the games are in order. I got to go looking for it. Sorry. Got thrown off my game. Some good games, man. Oklahoma, Cincinnati, Arkansas, South Carolina, Iowa State, TCU. These are all games I don't have an opinion on. Anything can happen. Coin flip games, baby. I don't know why I don't see Purdue. Purdue, there it is. Hey now, hey now. I go white, go one day. Purdue, baby, they're on the road taking on Iowa. Uh, I think this is easy money for Purdue. Give me Purdue -11.5. Dominant win for the Boilermakers this weekend. Um, Sorry, everything's thrown around now. Uh, Anyway, Alabama, baby. Give me Alabama on the road. Give me them +5. I think Alabama keeps it close. Winners of 4 in a row. I think they're finally getting it all together. They are taking on a Tennessee team that is elite. I mean, elite. Definitely think this game is going to be a heavyweight bout. Punch for punch, uppercut for uppercut, jab for jab. Give me Alabama to keep it close. I'm going Bama +5. That's the number I have for that game. Houston, baby. They're taking on UCF. UCF's been a sneaky, scary team. Beat Kansas, beat Texas. Houston at home, coming off a 20-point win against Texas Tech. I believe Houston can hold it and get the win. I got Houston -6, baby. I think they get a nice victory for their season, solidify that they are a Big 12 team. And then we're gonna go to the Ivy League real quick. Give me Yale on the road against Dartmouth. Give me Yale -7.5. Love Yale this season, and I love Princeton. Princeton, they're going to Columbia. Give me Princeton -4.5. That's Yale -7.5. Princeton -4.5. Definitely like both of those games. Some beautiful games, man. You could watch some games in the morning and then get ready for some playoff basketball at 1 o'clock. North Carolina, they're traveling to Boston College. Give me North Carolina -14.5. I think they can cover it up to 14. Don't think they cover anything over 15. North Carolina -14.5 is my bet there. Nebraska Northwestern, gonna be a damn good one. I don't know why this stuff ain't in order no more. I mean, I do know why, but can't tell y'all. Rich what? Richmond. LSU hosting Texas A&M, man. That's going to be a damn good one. I got LSU -1.5 at home. I think LSU gets the win. They showed me something taking on Ole Miss earlier this week. I think they're going to protect the home court. Definitely give me LSU -1.5. ACC ball, baby. Florida State, they're hosting Clemson. Give me Florida State -1.5. Talked about Florida State to open the show, 5-1 in conference play. Now they're at home against a Clemson team who I believed has been overrated since the beginning of the season. Definitely going to take Florida State this weekend. Give me Florida State -1.5. Kansas, baby. I'd bet you $1,000 this Kansas line opens at 6.5. Give me Kansas minus 4.5. They struggle to cover those numbers. West Virginia is a tough team. West Virginia has a kid named Jesse Edwards that's going to lock up Hunter Dickinson. Kansas is going to have to score from the perimeter. I don't know if they have perimeter scoring to do it. I think they still get a win. I don't know if they cover the 6.5 that they're going to be put on them. Probably just stay away, honestly. But Kansas minus 4.5 would be a play for me. New Mexico, they're going to travel into Air Force. Give me New Mexico minus 8. I love what this New Mexico team has done the last week, both at home. This would be a huge spot on the road against a less than team in Air Force for New Mexico to get a nice road win in conference play. Give me New Mexico minus 8. Sorry, there's like games that I'm missing on my list, but I can't find them. Utah State, baby, taking on Fresno State. Give me Utah State minus 7. Utah State at home minus 7, taking on Fresno State. Utah State bounces back from that loss against it was either New Mexico or San Diego State, and I think it was New Mexico that beat San Diego State and Utah State back to back. New Mexico, man, it was the first future I put in this season to win their conference. Love what they're doing right now. Like I said, take New Mexico minus 8. We're gonna take Utah State minus 7. I have Butler written down on my list. Can't find the damn Butler game to save my life. I must have missed it. I need to start just writing down who the hell these teams play so I ain't got to look while I'm trying to read. Butler, they're playing DePaul, the worst team in the league, worst team in the conference. Give me Butler at home, minus 6.5. Honestly, I'd take it up to minus 8.5. 6.5 is kind of me playing it safe. Butler wins this game by double digits, taking on DePaul. Unless they just show up and thinking that they're going to get an easy dub. But if they show up and play, they should definitely win this one. A big game. Arizona hosting UCLA. Didn't put a number on this one. Who the hell knows? Arizona can win by 30. UCLA can win by 2. I wouldn't be surprised if either happened. Don't want to just throw a number out there because of some algorithm and formula gives me a number. I really don't think that game has a number you can put on it. If that don't make sense, nothing will. I think we're caught up now from the 3 o'clock games moving forward. Sorry if I'm moving too fast for some of you. It's a video, baby. You could always pause and rewind. Um, McNeese, 13.5. Give me McNeese State on the road taking on Incartane. Word, never heard of it. Give me McNeese State minus 13.5. One of the hottest teams in the nation. Will Wade got them boys rocking, got them boys rolling. I'm definitely going to be on McNeese State. My number is 13.5. Kentucky, they're hosting Georgia. Georgia's got some damn bulldogs, excuse the pun. They're playing lights out this season. I think Kentucky's one of the best teams in the nation, and I think Kentucky's just now realizing it. Give me Kentucky, baby, minus 5.5 at home, taking on a Georgia team. I think Kentucky gets the win pretty easy. I think they'll be up by about 10 the entire game, end up covering the 5.5 smoothly. Got about 6 more for you. Sorry. Just trying to find everything. Kansas State, baby. They're taking on Oklahoma State, a Oklahoma State team that's just been losing by 30 every chance they get. Give me Kansas State. I want to say minus 9.5. That's what I think the number is going to be. Minus 9.5. Kind of like Kansas, though. I want to bet this around 4.5. So I'm hoping to get something under 9.5. I just think 9.5 is going to be the number that gets put on this game. But Kansas State, I think, does get a huge win over Oklahoma State, especially being at home. Kansas State minus 9.5. Would love to get it at 4.5. One of those games you really just can't call it. Where we at? Nah, I just can't find none of the games. Colorado, they're taking on Oregon State. If there's an O State, they're trash this year. Oklahoma State and Oregon State. Give me Colorado, baby. I think they win this game by 30. My number is Colorado minus 3.5. Colorado is one of those teams. You don't know what team you're gonna get. You don't know what team's going to show up. We just watched them beat Oregon last night by 15. which, I mean, Oregon's one of my favorite teams this season. Uh, Not as a fan, just as a better. I think they're gonna make some noise in March. But give me Colorado, baby, minus 3.5. Number will probably be 13.5. Just so you're prepared. I'm not taking the 13.5 either. Villanova, they're hosting Connecticut. Give me UConn at the patented minus 5.5 that they've been all season long, and they have been covering all season long. I love UConn in this spot. Villanova definitely could sneak up and bite them. Villanova dealing with some injuries though. I think UConn goes on the road. Defense travels. Give me UConn minus the 5.5. One of my favorite games and going to be one of my favorite plays of the night if the number is right. You got Duke hosting Pittsburgh. Give me Duke minus 7.5. I think this is a double uh digit victory. Give me the Blue Devils minus 7.5 taking on Pittsburgh. Two more games for you. Auburn, baby. Give me Auburn. They're hosting. Oh, the Mississippi. Give me Auburn minus 6. I think Old Miss is a home team. Chris Beard in his first year down there in Mississippi. I think it takes him a little while to get it together. I'm gonna go Auburn at home minus 6. Welcome to the jungle, as they say. And then Grand Canyon University, baby. They're on the road taking on Seattle. Give me GCU minus the 10.5. You know what it is. So there you have it. There it is. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love. And thank you for the support. This is Captain by a Hook with the red beard. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a beautiful Friday, the 19th of January. Presented by Stare Down Sports. This is a morning show. Please take all wagers at your own risk and please gamble responsibly. Any questions on anything, you can hit me up on the X at Rowan Donaghy. I would definitely holla back.